Welcome all. So in this session, we'll be seeing about services in Angular. To start with, what is services? Why you need services? The, why we need services? That's my first question. So if you see, if you normally in Angular, we write business logic in services. We don't write any business logic to a component. Okay. Why can't we put all our business logic in component? Why shouldn't we separate it out to services? If you understand, if you put any business logic in component, okay, so that logic will be confined to the component. It can't be used by other component. Okay, consider a login service. Why, if you write the logic of the login service inside a component, you can't use that outside the component. So yeah, component, maybe I have a employee list component. It has nothing to do with login service. Login. Okay. So if you confined inside a component, we can't use it outside. That's why we have services. Services, we write logic, business logic, and it is more centralized. That services, all the components can use. Okay. You can mention it, you can use in a different module or different component everywhere. You just need to provide that service in the provider so that it can be injected in that particular component or throughout the application wherever it is, wherever you are providing that service. Based on that, it will be provided to a component and the child components, or to the entire application. It is based on where you put that service into. To understand more about dependency injection, you can refer to my another session on dependency injection so that you are clear how you can inject a service in Angular. So next will be creating a service in Angular. We will just run through creating a service in Angular. So for creating a service, this is my sample application. So in this application, if you see, the server is already running, and you can also see the page of my sample application. So so in the by through the service, we are trying to achieve the delete. Whenever I click on anything, it should get deleted. This is what we are trying to achieve by the service we are going to add. So delete, if you take, it has nothing to do with this employee list component. Why should I write the logic of delete inside this? Okay, this employee list component has nothing to do with it. So we are going to write the logic for delete outside in the service so that any component can use this delete service to achieve what they want. Okay, for creating a service, what we need to do, we have to just simply create a file first. Let me keep it as delete service.ts, right? I've added the file. Now in every TypeScript, we'll create a class. Maybe name it delete service. Okay. How to make it a service? We have to add, to make this class as a service, we have to add the TypeScript decorator, that is injectable. As we add in everything, we have to add it here as well. Let me add this. So it got done. Oh, this is fine. So now this is a service. My thing is done. So what we need to apply, this is a list, right? If you go into the employee list component, you will understand this is a list, and in the employee list component.html, I'm just going through the list and printing the values. That's what I'm doing. I also have a delete button in that. What I need to achieve is, whenever this delete button is clicked, I want to delete that item from the list. For that, if I want to write a delete functionality, let me go to the delete service what we created. Here it is. I will write a function here, delete, and this okay, this will take a list which is of array. Maybe I will have any, because from a list we are trying to delete a item, okay, based on a key which will be of type number. So if you go to the employee list component, you can see that key is a number. So based on this number, I am going to delete this one item from the list. Okay. Let me do, this is a list. From the list, let me first find the item based on the key. Okay. Item. The item will be each time it will be the content in the list. So each iteration, the item will be or each object from that employee list. From that, I'm going to return item.key equal to key. Okay, this will return my that particular item. That item it will return to me. Okay. Then using splice, let me delete it. List.splice and I will use one another method of JavaScript, that is index of that item which was returned. Okay, and I want to delete only that item, and I will return the list. What this function is doing, it is taking the list, in this case the employee list, and the key number, and based on that key which was given to this function, we are finding that particular item. That item we are trying to find the index of that item, and from that index we are deleting only one using the splice of JavaScript. I have added the business logic for deleting. Now I have to use it from the component. Let me provide the delete service in the component. I want the delete service injected into the component level. We can inject it in component on or root level. You can refer to the other session which will be I will be adding to the description, so you can refer to that. So now I have injected the delete service to the provider, so the component will know whenever the component requires it, ask for it, it will inject the delete service instance will be created. So how to ask for the delete service instance? We have to just specify here delete service and deletes, which is of type delete service. So this will inject the delete service in functionality. You can also add public here so that it is converted as a instance variable. Okay. Now what I need to do is the app component.html, by using event binding, whenever this delete button is clicked, I will call the delete employee which is present in the component. But I have not added it yet. I will add it now. Okay. So this delete employee, I will add it in the component which will be responsible for calling the delete function. Okay. And you have to also pass two arguments, right? Let us first pass the employee.key. That alone will pass to this function because it is iterated through employees. In each iteration, employee will get the each object in the employees, and from that single object I am trying to get key here. Okay, so let us go to the component.ts. Here it is getting the key, okay, which is of type number, right? Using this key, I am going to call. I will just say delete service dot delete, right? And I have to pass two parameters. First, the employees. Employees already it is available because it is a instance variable here. So I will say this dot employees. The next is the key, which was sent to this function. So now in the component, I have added a function which will be called whenever the user presses the delete on the employee list. Okay, let us check whether this is working. Let me delete here. So it is working. You can understand, right? It is working. See. So it is working perfectly. So I hope you understood how to add a delete service. In the similar ways, you can also add a delete service using Angular CLI. It is very simple there. You have to put ng g service and the service name which you are interested. Maybe I will say it as delete one. So if you press enter, it will add a service in the name of delete one. If you go through your thing, you will find something called delete one. So here it is. So this is what it has created. The logic you have to add. It has just given the skeleton how the delete service should be, and it also has injected it into the provider through this way, which is came from Angular 6. Okay, so by this way it is happening. The provider normally we provide the service in the module or a component. Here the service itself it's saying I am a provider and it gets registered with the provider. So it happens in the reverse way. This also works in the similar manner. Only difference is it is injected from the service itself. No need to add it in the app module or component. Thank you.